So who wants to start off that conversation?
Okay, I'll start off. First of all, do you know what police brutality actually means? I'm going to let you know the definition because a lot of people kind of get it mixed up.
Please inform us.
Okay, it's the use of force exceeding that reasonably necessary to accomplish a lawful police purpose. So basically, using excess force to get your point across or for an arrest or something like that. And you're brutally beating somebody or brutally attacking them just to get them to comply. That's what I think. What do you think?
Well, actually, the whole thing with the police department is you have to look at the history of the police department.
Okay.
Like, where did they come from? How did this come about? Well, they started out as actually slave patrols. This is what you have to understand. They was designed to keep the slaves in check. They would guard the plantation. You have a lot of Native Americans that say, of course, they say they were policing the Native Americans, when in reality, they were protecting themselves from the Indians. But that's basically how they came. And then in 1704 in North Carolina, they had your first official slave patrol. And as you look over the history, they evolved into modern day police departments. Okay, so when you think about it now, you know, after the civil rights, emancipation and stuff like that, we basically went from the plantation to the penitentiary. You know, these corporations like J.P. Morgan, the USA Today, the World Bank owned by the Rothschilds, which is another story within itself, Norfolk Southern Railroad, really? CXX, all these corporations, like 15 of them, that the big corporations today, they started with the slave trade and slaves. That's how they participated, and that's why they are where they are today. Then, of course, as we come up here, you know about the civil rights era. You know, we saw it on TV. You know, like we seeing stuff on TV today. And then I think like a lot of stuff was going on through the 80s and the 90s, but I think what really kind of topped things off was when Rodney King got caught in Los Angeles. He was in a high-speed police chase. They pulled him over, they beat him. And though the officers were not indicted initially, two of them later on were, but he actually won $3.8 million, his family. It was a form of reparation. Okay, and then of course we have in Brooklyn, I think it was 1997, Louima. He was sodomized and beaten by Brooklyn police. Okay, not too long ago, a Haitian immigrant, Diablo, you know, he was killed also. This happened in New York also. Maybe that's why I know I'm a New Yorker, so but I can remember stuff.
I think the thing that gets me, the Sean Bell case, I think that's the one that bring it all home to me, because this guy's going to his bachelor party, and a plainclothes cop jumped in front of his car with a gun. I mean, like anybody else did. I mean, I'd have reeled my car trying to take off, skate too, thinking I'm got to get robbed. So, and 51 shots later, man, the guy was killed.
That happened in Queens, I remember that.
Yeah, I mean, and then you got the recent one in Greensboro, South Carolina. I think that's when the Walter Gray guy, he got shot in the back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think
he was running.
Just imagine that guy had not been there with the camera to record that.
Right.
I mean, just imagine that.
Okay, well,
I mean,
this is you guys probably get a little upset with me because this is how I feel, okay? I feel like there are some good police officers, and we do have some bad ones.
Yeah.
But it's all about knowing your rights, okay?
Yeah.
Now, my thing is, nobody deserves to be harassed. Nobody deserves to be beaten, shot at, or anything. But if someone tells me to stop, guess what? I'm going to stop. If you tell me not to run, why would I run? And I'm already seeing in the news how all these people are getting shot, how all these people are being harassed. Why would I encourage that behavior? So I think some of it can be prevented.
Yeah, and Kim, I agree with you. I agree with you totally on that. My thing is, I try to tell the young people like this, you're not gonna win that case at the end of the day.
You're not.
So you're not, cause
it's the judge. Actually, it's the court's job to say, "Oh, you're guilty." The police job is basically to, go ahead, arrest you, take you to jail or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I said, there are some good police, there are some bad police officers.
Yeah.
But if you know, as a young African-American male, and not only are they getting killed, but it was a young white guy who got killed by a black cop. So a lot of people want to turn it into race, saying, oh, it's black, white officers killing black people. No, it's a lot of people who are getting killed and affected by police.
But you can't escape the fact that the majority of the ones are young black males.
Because they don't know their rights. And it's not fathers in the household that are teaching them how to obey authority. Whether you like it or not, the police officers do have authority.
Yeah, but Kim, I just seen one happen in Maryland.
Exactly.
Yeah, the guy got you seen that, and he got not Freddie.
Freddie, somebody else.
It was another guy. They had a fight, and the cops told him to instructed him to get down on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
He get down on the ground, and the cop just kicked him in the face for no reason.
Like I said, there are bad cops, and now he does need to be put up on charges. There are bad cops, but I have a son myself, and it's sad because you know what I have to tell my son every day?
Mm-hmm.
Come straight home from school. If you see somebody running, you don't run because they're gonna think you're running from whatever's going on, and you may not even have anything to do with that.
That's hard. That's hard to do, Kim. You got somebody running towards you, and then you don't know what the hell he's running from. I mean,
no, but I'm just saying it's just so much
saying.
going on. I think a lot of people need to take responsibility and stop trying to put blame on all the officers. Like I said, there are some bad officers, but there are some people out there who blatantly just disobey, don't listen, and then at the end of the day, you want to sue somebody.
Well, I like to interject.
I agree with you on that.
I just like to interject here. You know, that all sounds good, you know, but when a police officer, see, I have a problem with this. If I'm not doing anything, you know, I might be waiting for a ride. This happened to me one time at the 7-Eleven. I was standing there waiting for somebody, and the police officer walks up to me and asks me for my ID and all of this stuff. You know, and of course, I don't appreciate him. And I told him, I said, you know what? I don't give you permission to talk to me. Okay? Then he turned around, you know, he insisted I give him my ID, which I did. But if I'm not doing anything, I look at it as harassment.
Okay. Well, Mr. Garland,
Okay,
there
you're
are
messing
people,
with me.
but there are people who actually stand at 7-Eleven that I've been to 7-Eleven asking for change, harassing people, doing all kind of things that they're not supposed to be doing that's actually breaking the law. So you can't kind of get upset with the police officer because he asked you for your ID. If you're innocent, you're not doing nothing, here's my ID, sir, I know my rights.
But when did it become that bully mentality though? Because a lot of those cops, they trying to enforce this. They try to bully you almost like.
They use their
Not
badge.
all cops.
They
Oh
hide
my
behind
goodness.
their badge.
a lot of them are killed. A lot of them are. They try to impose their will on you.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm
do.
saying? Like.
But if you know your
Your rights,
rights, it's about knowing your rights.
Correct. That's important. You know, am I being
And you also know that they're intimidated. They're already on high alert. They're human, emotional. They're emotional creatures. So if you know they're emotional, you just stay calm. Here's my ID, sir. But could you please tell me, why are you asking me for my ID? I have the right to know why you're asking me for my ID.
Yeah.
What is this purpose? If you get an attitude, that's just worse. They're going to cop attitude with you.
Yeah. No, I agree with you on that. Now, I mean,
I've been pulled over by police officers, and not only are police actually, you know, you see in the news with black men and everything, but there's been cases where black women have been beat up.
Yeah.
Black women have, you know, so I've been pulled over plenty of times, and never once. I guess I'm just blessed, but I have not had a hostile police officer. And
you never had a hostile?
Never, and I promise you, I've been pulled over maybe more than 20 times.
have you ever had a run in with a hostile cop?
Yeah, in New York, I thought it was hostile. They walked up to me. I was on my street, and he at me. I was going through something with a child, and we was arguing and stuff. And somebody called the police, and the police came on my block. And I was standing by my van, and he asked me to put my hands up on the van. I thought he was going to search me or something, you know. Okay. He started pulling my arm down, putting handcuffs on me.
Didn't reach
And
no
when he
right.
did that, I'm saying to myself, like, what? You know, and I pulled away. Next thing you know, I'm pulling away, and he's going to his thing. Boom, and he pulled out the mace, and he sprayed me in the eye. And I got arrested for that quick moment.
Well, in that case, you
And they
pulled
had me-
away.
Well,
Why are you,
he had-
why are you putting my hands
he
behind
had
my back?
no
Why are you
right-
arresting me?
Right. Well, see, I didn't understand that. You know, what are you doing putting handcuffs on? And I couldn't accept that.
Right,
I
but
pulled
pulling away is not going to help.
You know, I mean, I can't.
It's all about
submit.
reactions.
I have a hard time submitting to the police. Just knowing who their reputation is, it makes me feel like I'm a slave. Like, oh yes, sir. Oh whatever.
Yeah,
I'm
they're
not
trying to
bowing down
they trying to
it.
impose their
No,
will.
and I understand what you're coming from, but laws are laws. If you know that, if you know that's how they're looking at you, why not yourself take precautions?